Boys, I just want to touch, if I can, on mental health and mental well-being for a moment, because you two are obviously in a pretty unique position in that, Straussy, you captain, you played in the same team as Nashi. For those of us that know Nashi, we know him as a larger-than-life character. We know him as somebody that fills a room when he walks in. But we heard a pretty interesting phrase earlier this morning in one of the sessions, which is, the brighter the light, the darker the shadow, which I really like as a kind of, notion. And I think it sums up perhaps many of the things that Nashi went through in his cricket career. Could you just talk for a couple of minutes about your experience of David on the cricket pitch and subsequently what you learned about the struggles he had? And then, Nashi, maybe you could follow that up with just explaining how cricket affected you and really what you have done since to look after your mental well-being.
Yeah, I mean, just to start with, when I joined Middlesex as a 19-year-old, like Nashi, in a lot of ways, was the sort of epitome of the type of cricketer that I wanted to be. He was incredibly talented, like he had an incredible sort of junior career, and everyone was saying this guy was going to go and do great things in the game. And he had this unbelievable confidence about him for an 18-year-old. Like, he'd strut in there. In our dressing room, we had people like Angus Fraser and Mark Ramprakash and Justin Langer, and Nashi would give out as good as he got. And he went out there and made his debut and scored loads of runs. And I was like, I just don't have that confidence, and I don't believe that I'm good enough to be here. And so, it was just extraordinary to see that sort of surface level confidence that Nashi had. He was obviously very talented as well. But, having played with him for a long period of time, what I began to realise, and it dawned on me very slowly that, Nashi was always the life and soul in the dressing room. He was always the guy that we were relying on to keep us going and keep the sort of energy and the banter going in the dressing room. And what I didn't realise is all of that came at a cost. That took a lot out of Nashi, and he actually had his own demons. And that the effort that it took to be up and confident all the time. When deep down he was thinking about his own motivations, whether he wanted to be on the pitch, he was worried about what might go wrong. Like, he was hiding all of that from us, and that's very tiring as well. And so it was only over time I started to realise, hold on, maybe there is more to this than meets the eye. And that idea of the brighter the light, the bigger the shadow, just really pertinent in Nashi's case. And, even when Nashi retired, I still didn't have a great idea of the full effects of what he was going through. I thought I could see that he's going through some challenging times, but I didn't realise it was quite as hard as it actually was.